Hello everybody and welcome to a new video, a new tutorial, and this is a request from one of my Dutch music friends. The question was, he couldn't find the new functions that were shown in the demonstrations, the ambient and the dynamic controls. To be honest, I couldn't as well, but it made sense when Nico explained me that you could find it there. Here we are. I also show you this in a picture so it's more clear. The main screen. What you want to search for are the live control buttons, and that is you got demo from the right to the left, tempo, and then live control. Just press this and you get this next screen. I forgot to mention this in the Dutch version. If you made some changes and the dynamics control function isn't there, you can just press direct access and turn one of these knobs, because then the keyboard knows that you want to make adjustments or changes to these knobs. Now you are going to search on what page you want to make the changes. I'm going for the two most requested ones, and that will be the dynamics control and the ambient. The way you go about this is you tap on the first button. Since it's already selected, with one tap it will go to the settings. You choose style, because these new functions are both baked into the styles or created for the styles. And as you can see, ambient depth is already selected. So for the first knob we will select ambient depth, ambience depth. It will be shorted on the small screen to ambient depth, and that's why that name stuck to my head. Now we're going to get the second knob. I now have to tap twice, because the first time you select resonance and the second time you tap it, you can make changes to it. We go back to the style, but now we change the function to dynamics control. You tap close again and we are back in this main screen, and now you can see in the main screen that you have ambient depth and dynamics control set. Also on the left side, on your black and white screen, you also see the abbreviation for ambient depth and dyne control. So let's go back to the main screen and let's give you an example. And the first thing I want to test is I want to use both these effects on an old style. The style either came from the Taurus 4 or the first Genos. And why am I going to test if this is going to work? I want to know if the effect is built in and recorded with the style and the new drum kit, or is there a computer inside your keyboard that calculates the effect, just like a synthesizer does when you turn the value of that certain effect or sound, and that you hear gradually these changes through your sound, to your music. So let's see if this is a pre-calculated, baked in effect, the ambient depth and the dynamics control, or is it calculated by a system in the computer built in the Genos and Genos 2. Well, let's first do this with only the drums, because then it's the most easy to hear. Somehow now the defaults are different than they were in the previous recording I did in Dutch, but let's turn it all the way down to 0, the ambient depth. And the ambient, before I do this, ambient depth is the adjustment of the microphone. Either you put it really close to the drum kit and you get the clean, pure sound of the drum kit without influence of the room that the drum kit is in or the studio. And when I open it up, put the microphone further to the back, then it's starting to record the ambience of the studio or room the drum kit is in. Let's go. 0. And I didn't hear any controls when I went from halfway down to down. So I don't think it will make a change when I open it up completely and put the microphone further back. No difference at all. So this effect is, I call this pre-baked. It just only is recorded with the new drum kits. Now the dynamics controls, and this is how hard the drummer is hitting the drum kits. Well, as you could clearly hear, the drummer went all the way down. And let's stop this. I can explain this because, as Peter Baart once explained in his demonstration that I've heard, that these are MIDI values, how hard the drummer is hitting on the keyboard. And MIDI is not pre-baked. MIDI can be everything in the keyboard. Even your style is a sort kind of a MIDI file, with the only difference that with your left hand you are in control in the key that the band is playing in. These are MIDI values, and these MIDI values are calculated by the computer. So this is why this effect will work on the old drum kits out of the legacy folder. So now, without changing a registration, so we keep the ambideft and dynamics controls, I'm going to go back to the default style that is built in the Genos 2. And in this, the drum kit will definitely feature both controls. But, well, what I've discovered since my practice session yesterday evening and my first version of this tutorial in Dutch, not every drum kit is recorded in the same studio or room. And this means that how much the turning the knob, changing the position of the microphone is noticeable, varies from a style, and in other words, drum kit to drum kit. Let's turn it all the way down so we get a clean drum kit. Before I forget, we gotta go to preset. When you are in the styles part, where you select your styles, go to preset, choose a category. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to movie and show, because usually these drum kits are epic and they are usually recorded in huge rooms, because it's very cool to hear that awesome echo and all that effects that are the acoustics of, for instance, a big church. And of course, if this effect is not good enough to your liking, you can always use the reverb function to get a kind of similar effect, but then it will be done by the Revolution reverb. Okay, let's start without the drum and kit and bass. Let's go to movie and show. Action anthem. Well, I guess this is new. I don't know if there's much drum into it, so let's skip the easy setting. Let the drummer go all out on variation D without a drum solo. Let's start, and I put everything on 0, and then we can turn everything all the way up. These are the new drum kits. Let's go. Yeah, I hear which one this is. This is from the Top Gun style. And let's first, because the dynamics control are the most noticeable, let's turn it up to full blast and then to medium, so we can hear the ambideft. Yeah, now it's full blast. Let's go back to around 80. That is around the default setting for the newer styles. And now we are going to remove the microphone from the drum kit, put it further away. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah. Yes, that's a much better effect than I've gotten from my previous tutorial demonstration. Like I said before I started this, I was already estimating that if you want to make an epic style and you want to give ambient depth to that, you got to record the drum kit in a very huge hall to get that epic effect. But like I said, you can solve this with, if you think there's not enough ambience, you can always throw some reverb over that and get some more. But when you overdo it, it sounds like overkill and the original drum kit will drown in the echo reverb, the hall reflection. But that is to each his or her own taste. So now let's go back and, well, this is actually the end, because as you can see, it's pretty easy. Just on your main screen, tap the live control function, or if that is not there for whatever reason possible, use the direct access function, turn one of these knobs and you'll get into the same screen. So they are both different steps, you get the same result. And that is the magic, so I call this, of the direct access button. Let me know if you like these kind of extra effects. What kind of musician are you? Do you love the new additions? The ambient depth, the dynamics control, the Revo reverb? Let me know in the comments what kind of musician you are, what you like and don't like about the new things. Thanks for watching, enjoy your music and enjoy the music and have a nice day.